afternoon session with aspiration prayer for the non-sectarian teachings. Or more correctly, the aspiration prayer for the non-sectarian expansion of the Buddhist teaching. On page 304, 104. Yesterday we recited in Tibetan, today we recited in English. Just a small note, this prayer was written by His Holiness Dalai itself for this aspiration. You can join the aspiration, charity the question. Embodiment of the four kayas, omniscient friend of the sun, limitless life and light, supreme noble of Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, Secret Lord, Rimay Monlam, Victor and Scholars of the Victors, Sattva Collectives, 7 succinct patriot truths, 6 ornaments, Supreme 2, 80 masked Siddhas, 16 elders, and all the others who are singularly committed to serving the teachings and beings. You sublime beings, bodhisattvas, please give me your attention. The Supreme Holy, over the span of countless beings, superbly perfected the two accumulations of merit and wisdom. Through the salutary power of his knowledge, love, and strength, may the complete, perfect Victor's teaching shine forever. The portal of appearance of the Buddhist teaching in the land of snow mountains, abode, Acharya, and King, the three first opened the way, translators, scholars, Vidyadharas, lord and subjects, to the power of the generation of Bodhicitta, may the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. Within the jeweled tower of the vast details, the great Dharma treasury of profound Sadhana sections, the profound inner's heart essence of sparkling bright light, may the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. Within the great expanse of the heart of luminosity, innate purity, of vehicles, fully encompassing all phenomena of samsara nirvana, it means to reach the state of the original Victor Samantabhadra. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of the sun. The lineage of profound dignity and expansive conduct, whose treasury of completely perfect instructions was held by Atisha, is a tradition of instructions that emerged from the enlightened source. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of the snows. The pronouncements of the Victor contained in the Tripitaka, finally arranged into instructions in 3 sorts of individuals, is the golden rosary of dictated instructions, possessing the 7 holy dharmas. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. Translator Martha, Hasadvajra, and others, the jewel treasury of Kagis, the source of blessings, is the great tradition of successive pious ones. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. All phenomena of samsara nirvana are created. The radiance of mind in itself, life free of elaboration, is realized. In essence, to be Dharmakaya, pervading all phenomenal existence, both samsara nirvana, it is Mahamudra. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. Through exegesis, debate, and composition on the vital points of 100 churches of sutras and tantra, and the outer and inner sciences, the divine progeny of Kon, the most kind Sakikas, are experts in preserving the Buddhist teachings. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. Masterful yogins of the tradition of instructions on exceptional dharmas, theirs is the orally transmitted lineage with full validity and extremely exoteric teachings for gaining experience in course, patent, and fruition. May the Victor's teaching ever blaze in the land of snows. The profound Madhyamika view and are closely associated with it. The two stages of path of the most secret Vajrayana, profound and lucid in the teachings expertly propagated by the Victor Lobsang, may the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. The essence of stages of the completely perfect path, covering the meaning of the Tripitaka and the four classes of Tantra, is the consummate system of practice free from mistakes. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. Sutra and Tantra, others, and the incomparable mode of commentary on the dual child and elder brother, systems of scriptural and experimental lines of transmission, outer, inner, and alternate, the three Kala chakras, may the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. In short, the 10 distinct mighty pillars of the teachings, the chariots of the practice lineage generally, pacification and honors, are the rich in plentiful oral instructions, unified Sutra and Tantra. May the Victor's teachings ever blaze in the land of snows. May the feet of those who hold the teachings stand firm. The harmonious Sangha members be protected by the three hills of doctrine. Those who have faith in the teachings spread across the earth, and the non-sectarian Victor's teachings shine forever. Throughout the world, may ideas of incidents of, and even in terms of warfare, famine, and savagery be unheard of. May living creatures be loving, signs of virtue increasing in the environment and its inhabitants, and an ocean of happiness and joy prevail, reaching everywhere. May I too be all-worshiping, dedicating myself from now on to studying, reflecting, and meditating upon the expansive bodhicitta and the profound view of this completely perfect path of the teachings, quickly reach the states of short and long-term and everlasting happiness. For the sake of sentient beings with habits within the furthest reach of space, I shall, without becoming despondent, lazy, or stuck in bad habits, engage in the practices of which mighty Muni and Victor's children are enumerate, with confident and joyful interest and motivation. May my body, possessions, and virtues serve as the cause of happiness for others, and may all of their misfortunes, wherever they may be, come completely ripen upon me. May all those who see, hear, recall, or take interest in me enjoy the splendor of happiness and joy, and all who come there and beat or rebuke me be so fortunate as to tread the body path. In short, for so long as space remains and beings continue to suffer, for that long shall I too remain, as someone who works directly and indirectly for their welfare and happiness. May the Lamas, the glory of the teachings, live along. May people who uphold the teachings cover the world's surface. May wealth and influence of patrons of teachings increase. May all be auspicious so the teachings remain for a long time. Since yesterday we recited the aspiration prayer for the expansion of the Igbo tradition and Kali tradition, we'll continue today with the Sakya tradition on page 324, 324, 324, esta expressão para a expansão da tradição Sakya. Om Swasti. To the blessings of the verbal Dhamma-dhatu, profound luminism beyond the intellect, in which constructs and signs are usually silenced. All there is as it is, all pervading and non-composite, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. To the power and force of eternal validity and profound meaning of unfettered self-radiance, bearing to the immense display from better causes and conditions, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. Although they have attained the supreme serenity of wisdom, the weight of magnificent qualities pulls them back into the world. With the advent of compassionate ranks of root and lineage rulers, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. To the blessings of the masters of the sevenfold lineage of fruition carriers attained by means of the single ground, including the everlasting five, merger and great bliss, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. To the blessings too of the healthy one who is unique display of compassion, elusive from Muda, transformed into the Maka and the guardian from being, perform 12 acts, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. To the path of cessation, that which is engendered through the truth of occurrence as well as non-occurrence, from controlling conditions as expressed by the Supreme Way, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. The 10 paramitas that gathering leave a glowing legacy behind, not greatly pursued and free of the 8 subtle modes of detection, through the power of those embarked on the Katayaka and Sharavaka paths of consciousness and realization, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. With miraculous feet and guiding wisdom, may they fatigate not weary, and outbound multitudes who are the sentinels of the teachings never forget their solemn duties. May the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. Moreover, spirits to protect those who are the virtuous, taking delight in these words of truth, produce conducive circumstance through ritual actions. May the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. Without impairment of the excellent tradition of the way that tied together each and every treatise and tripitaka, established by King Hu in the conduct of Mahanipada, severed as spiritual friend, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. To the path of intellectual knowledge, striving to discern connections and contradictions, and to take the measure of all things that can be known, they draw on to correct path those with fallacious proofs, whether aimlessly, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. Not looking for the sublime through study alone, may the faithful exert themselves in practice. Essential path, it is portal to the four kinds. One light spread across the world, may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. May the life of lineage always be long and healthy. Their activities and adjectives and united class of sign, present the world. Contrary conditions finish, all desired hastily fulfilled, and so may the teachings of the Sakyas ever blaze. May the teachings of the Sakyas, the supreme preservers and protectors of the northern land, who illuminate the doctrine here in its range of snowy mountains, this place completely filled with the notion of scholars and students forever blaze. To continue the next page, an inspiration coming from the expansion of the other traditions. Although you are the Father who creates all victories, in the guise of the victor's child, you will hold the Dharma of the victor and the infinite pure realms. By the power of your true Vimachita, may the teachings of the victor love and flourish. In the past, in the presence of Buddha Vidraketu, you will through the whole his children in the future proclaim your great fortitude of heart. By the power of what they express truly, may the teachings of the victor love and flourish. In order to spread the lineage of pure view and conduct, we offer the white crystal rosary before the moon. By the power of this gift of the Dharma conch and prophecy, may the teachings of the victor love and flourish. Through the pure view escapes of the streams of realism and learning. Through pure meditation dispels the darkness of torpor and ignorance. Through the pure conduct proceeds in accord with the victor's dictates. May the teachings of the victor love and flourish. Through searching extensively for teachings and doing learning, through joining the meaning of what was learned in your mind wholly, through dedicating it all to the welfare of beings and the teachings excellent, may the teachings of the victor love and flourish. Instructions on practice guide each person to synthesize all provisional and definitive scriptures in scholar's authority, which arrest and faulty conduct. May the teachings of the victor love and flourish. Teaching the study of the Tibetan, transmitted Dharma, the practice of the three trainings, and the last Dharma, produce an exceptional model life of scholarship and fame. May the teachings of the future love and flourish. Outwardly through Shravaka conduct, peace and calm. Inwardly the two-stage yoga bestows confidence. The excellent path of Sutra and Tantra are taken as supportive lies. May the teachings of the future love and flourish. Shackles unbreakable against the strength, through the resultant melodies of great peace of the enemy. and the combined essence of the 80,000 sets of dharmas is extracted. May the teachings of Buddha and Lama flourish. Chief protectors of the paths of the three individuals, swift acting, Ma, Kala, Vaishnava, Kala, Rupa, and others, to the power and might of Oceanic, long guardians of the teachings, may the teachings of the Buddha and Lama flourish. In short, the long and healthy lives of the glorious Lama, to learn only in various exponents of the teachings from the earth, and patterns of the teachings growing in influence. May the teachings of the Buddha and Lama flourish. Next page, aspiration prayer for the expansion of Jhana tradition. Regent of the Buddha, Jala Jananka, Master of the Dharma, Omniscient Lord of Dharma, precious teachings, supreme essence of the teachings, let the alone blaze in all times and directions. Through the invariable power of the natural, fully pure Dharma, the power of truth, and the three that are infallible, right, precious, and sublime, may the teachings of the second Buddha, the omniscient Jananka, long blaze in all times and directions. By the power of the two vast and superlative accumulations, gathered over the course of countless eons by mighty movies, may the teachings of second Buddha, the omniscient Jananka, long blaze in all times and directions. Through these three phases of the Dhamma Chakra, well spoken by preachers of the three times outside the confines of samsara, may the teachings of the second Buddha, the omniscient Jananka, long blaze in all times and directions. From the original empty-ground state of all conventional dharmas, the three kayas, dawn, and all mandalas emerged. May primordial presence, the approach of the great season of Jhana, spread throughout all different directions. All three aspects of knowledge, sealed with the great view of empty of color, cover the path of the supreme Jnana, the way of the great Jhana. May this path extend in all times and directions. When the darkness of ignorance is wholly vanished, originally present Buddhahood and 10 powers become manifest. May this approach of the great system of Jhana spread through all times and directions. May the lotus garden of teachings of the Dean of the Doctrine, the Buddha Janaka, cover the entire world, and may the blaze of thousand lights and eminent meanings of threefold study, reflection, and meditation, and threefold composition and breaking exposition long endure. May holders of the teachings with the expansive display of superior understanding of scriptures and reasoning that expertly presents the principles of empty of order, middle way, spread that system at all times to all places. May all contrary negative conditions be fully pacified. May fine conducive conditions expand like a waxing moon. As in 100,000 signs of virtue fill three worlds, may the teachings of Jhana grow. In the great Dhamma Sutra, you remain the preacher, prophetically proclaimed to be a superior being, who properly understand the preacher's intent in its entirety. You are a great chariot of the ultimate Mahamaya, and seeders of the snowman, like the full moon in the starry sky. May the teachings of second Buddha, omniscient Janaka, from blaze in all times and directions. May the incredible teachings of glorious Janaka, which properly distinguish the intended meanings of the three chakras, cover the entire planet, spread and grow in all times and directions. Finish teaching of Kashi Prayer 344, 344, presented by the Dalai. Faz seja versos auspiciosos. Fundos de 42, 314. Abounding in marvelous quality, like a golden mountain, the protector of the tree world as a ruler of the tree stands. The Buddha has eyes like petals of a floating water lotus, and the veil of fishes his light solution bring and complete teachings I know about the three worlds and the remedy by gods and humans. The sacred Dharma brings peace to all creatures. May that not complete I think the Holy Dharma and their mutual auspicious studies, and the Sangha receives alms from gods, humans and non-gods. The Supreme Community knows modesty and brings acres of glory. The Supreme Community teacher, Sun Lord of Karma, the blessings of the future, purifies harmful enemies, martyrs and all types of hindrances. May they always be auspicious the Supreme Dharma of the truth of Karma is Karma. The blessings of truth of Amrita, sacred Dharma, shoots the agony of the five poisons of mental disturbance. May they always be auspicious qualities of the Sangha are priceless and blaze with glory. The blessings of truth of Bodhisattva's benevolent acts removes the harmful faults and increases the scope of virtue. All these sentient beings are in motion or at rest. May all of them be happy at this time, because the perfect holy teacher is near with the learning of gods and humans. I offer homage to the all these sentient beings who are in motion or at rest, may all of them be happy at this time. Serenity free of attachment is worthy of offerings of gods and humans. I also homage to all these sentient beings who are in motion or at rest, may all of them be happy at this time. The holy congregation deserves offerings from gods and humans. I also homage to the Sangha, I would like to invite
Well, some of you know that I'm reluctant to be sitting here, and in part that's because, unlike Rimay and Lama, I'm not a professional teacher. And after yesterday's really masterful talk by Lama, it's even more daunting. I don't know if you know, but he hit every note perfectly. I mean, the whole structure of the talk and everything was just really, really excellent. And I don't know anything like that. I don't teach, I'm just a practitioner. But I don't think I'm going to get out of this. So,
let's all get something out of it.
So, down at the main house, there was a brochure that says that this is a Monlam for universal or world peace. And so I'd like to just say something about my thoughts about Monlam. Monlam are something that are very important to me. As my wife knows, I spend a lot of time saying Monlam. Monlam are not just something that we tack on to the end of practice as a sort of just a pro forma conclusion. Monlam are actually what drives the world. In the Pali Canon, the opening lines of the Dharmapada are, we are what we think, how we become what we thought. What we think is how we create this world. And saying these prayers here, we really are creating world peace. We're creating huge, inconceivable amounts of merit, good karma, which we then can dedicate to the welfare of all beings. And so this is something really, truly tremendous. Recently, His Holiness the Karmapa posted 108 things that we can do to save the world. And these are mostly things that had to do with ecology. But I was really struck by the fact that the very first one was say aspiration prayers. So we talk about faith, and everyone that's here has some faith. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. It wouldn't make any sense. But our faith at the moment is a kind of vision for most of us. For me, we would like to have faith. We hope that this is all true. But at some point in our practice, we'll actually see that every word that we're saying is true. That every word we are saying is actually creating reality. When we see that, it'll stun you. It's awe-inspiring. It's frightening at how much power there is in our practice. How much power there is in these prayers. How important it is to pray. So, without saying a whole lot more, I'd like us to all turn to the ending of Session.to, which is, of all the Tibetan prayers and practices, absolutely one of my most favorite and the one that I get the most effect or benefit from. And I'd like you to go to page 192. And I'm sorry that I have to do this in English, but actually, no. Go to, I'm sorry. Go to page 190. Though one might adorn infinite realms throughout the 10 directions with precious jewels, and offer them to the victors, or offer them the greatest delights known to gods and men for as many eons as there are atoms in the universe, one who, having heard this king of dedications, is well inspired to pursue supreme awakening, and even just once, just one time, only once, generates faith, will develop the highest, most hallowed merit. Those who pass this aspiration prayer for excellent conduct will relinquish all lower realms. That means that you and I today don't have to go to the lower realms. We said this, we read this. It's true. It's not a story. This is as real as anything that there is. They will renounce all inferior companions. They will swiftly come to see Amitabha too. They will encounter what is most favorable and flourish. Even in this life, all will go well for them. We don't have to wait. It's not that we die and hope that things are going to be good. By saying these kinds of prayers, we can make our life better. If we're not happy with our life, fine. Pray. Say prayers like this, and it will change things. In no time at all, they will become just like Samantrabhati. If those who under the power of ignorance have committed the 5 bad acts of immediate consequence recite this excellent conduct, then all those acts without remainder will be swiftly cleansed. Those are things like hitting the Buddha, killing an arhat, killing your mother and father, stealing dharma possessions. They're called the 5 acts of immediate retribution, because if you do one of those things and you die, you don't go to the bardo. You're immediately born in hell. But it says here that if you say this prayer, even that kind of incredibly powerful bad karma is immediately, swiftly purified. So all of us have done lots of things we're not proud of, lots of things that have created a lot of bad karma. But we can go to dinner tonight really happy that we're not going to have to eat that karma. That karma is not going to ripen for us because we said this prayer. It's really true. And they will come to possess wisdom, health, and fine features, a noble lineage and good complexion. Evil beings and heretics in great numbers will not daunt them. Indeed, all 3 worlds will come to revere them. They will soon draw near the mighty Bodhi tree, and once there, to benefit beings, sentient beings, they will take their seats, awaken, become Buddhas, eminently turn the wheel, and subdue the evil and all their followers. It says they will soon draw near. It doesn't say in thousands of lifetimes. It says soon we're going to draw near. Why? Because we said this prayer. The final fruition for anyone who reads, recites, retains this aspiration prayer for evil conduct, only Buddhas comprehend. Have no doubt it is supreme enlightenment. We can achieve enlightenment by saying prayers like this. As heroic Manjushri realized, and so did Samantabhadra. I will emulate them both and perfectly dedicate all this virtue with the dedication that is most highly praised by all victors. Enlightened in the 3 times, I too fully dedicate all these roots of virtue towards excellence of conduct. I'm a little closer to this next one than many of you. When the time comes for me to die, may all my obscurations be cleared away, and meeting Amitabha in person, may I hasten to the realm of Sukhavati. Are you looking forward to that? Do you believe that's going to happen? It is. By saying this prayer, this is what's going to happen. Once I reach there, may all these aspirations without exception actually come to pass. I shall completely fulfill each and every one of them and benefit sentient beings for as long as the world endures. In that excellent and joyous mandala of victories, may I be born from a most immaculate, lovely lotus. And there may I also receive a prediction directly from the victor Amitabha. Once I have obtained a superb prediction there with 100 million emanations mentally dispatched throughout the 10 directions, I shall accomplish enormous benefit for sentient beings. Can you imagine that? Can you wait for that? Don't you want that? Don't you yearn for that? May the slight virtue I have accumulated through casting this aspiration for excellent conduct instantly bring fulfillment to all the virtuous aspirations of beings. May the outstanding, limitless merit obtained through proper dedication of excellent conduct deliver beings who are drowning in the torrent of suffering to the sublime realm of Amitabha. May this supreme and foremost king of aspiration prayers bring benefit to all, to countless sentient beings. By accomplishing the principles espoused by Samantabhadra, may all the lower realms be emptied. So anyway, thank you very much to Ramachan for establishing this Monlam, and for Lama Rimay for hosting this 10th annual Monlam. You know, I could have stayed home and said these prayers, but Honor and I decided to come all the way to Portugal. Why? Because when practitioners get together and say these prayers, they're even more powerful. If I say this once by myself, I get the merit of saying it once. If I say it once with 20 other people, then we all each generate that much merit, 20 times more. And then we're holding this Monlam during Sagadawa. Every day in Sagadawa, whatever we do, good or bad, is multiplied by 100,000 times. Some days even more. But like today, 100,000 times. So if you think just what are the benefits of saying this once, what it said here, it explained what the benefits were. It said what happens you say this once. Now multiply that times 20-some people. Now multiply that times 100,000. Wow, that's amazing. That's inconceivable. But it's really true. And it will happen. The yogurt's in the milk. We're all going to become Buddhists because of this. It's not a question of maybe. It's only a question of when. And it's soon. Chantra Sancha Rinpoche, Makipanan Kikuchi, Kepanan, Nanda Arisa Manaja, Montanisha, Sapsanyaja Jala, Yame Tuji.
My math correctly, may you participate fully in at least 2 million more Rimay Monlam by virtue of accomplished. Keep multiplying.
Way more than you.
So we have a very important additional auspicious bonus round prayer today, and it goes like this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lama Jermaine. Happy birthday to you. Lopon Pemajin Latin Lase, Danyi Jurbe to Dan Jurwame, Yuni Changshen Yanten Malushu, Dorje Kuni Raten Munjushu. And I think the birthday cake is at dinner. So please enjoy. So anyone can tell the schedule? Is there something more? Of course, yes. Don't expect me to that.
That's about that part.
In disobedience, separate self.
The blessings of the Master Brahma in his heart, within a shackle limit to materialize the true benefits, while purifying the true veils, he completes all the qualities. May the benevolence and stability of his spiritual body appear in the actuality. To his Holiness Dalai. And then we have the birthday at the main house.
So at
House
5?
at the living room.
At 5, if anyone wants to join the Major with questions and answers, so we can